Good evening. These are the stories making the headlines in the Hot 7 Nightly News.
The Commissioner of Police dispels the notion that there is no well-functioning witness protection program.
We do have an effective and efficient witness protection program in place.
An activist turned public servant wants St. Lucians to know that he has not given up the fight for a sex offenders registry. And the National Workers Union's request for money on the road for Christmas is granted to the tune of $1,000. We have the details of these stories and more coming up.
This is the Hot 7 Nightly News with Lovely and Amy Joseph.
It is Friday the 23rd of November 2018. Welcome to the Hot 7 Nightly News. I am Lovely St. Amy Joseph. Thank you for joining us. An activist turned public servant wants St. Lucians to know that he has not given up his fight. Norbert Williams, who is now the attaché to the Prime Minister, says he's still pushing for a public sex offenders registry, but that he's using a different tactic. Rochelle Gonzalez reports.
To many people who are aware of the name Norbert Williams, they might remember his unrelenting fight to have a sex offenders registry implemented in a bid to tackle the scourge of sex crimes. Following the 2016 general elections, he was appointed as the attaché to the Prime Minister, and since then, Williams has been noticeably quieter than before about the registry. However, with the recent case of a 6-year-old boy who was reportedly molested by a prominent St. Lucian man, the topic was once again flung into the limelight. On Friday morning, he told Hot 7 News that his silence should not be mistaken for inactivity towards the cause.
I don't think there's much difference to the focus that I have, which is the sex offender registry. When I was out of government and with my organization and speaking out as a private citizen, I leveraged my position then to bear pressure and to bring to the consciousness of St. Lucians the seriousness of sex offenders in St. Lucia. I don't think that has changed. We have had a number of high-profile cases. However, my position, which is now with the government, has caused me to change my strategy. And what I have done is to leverage my position to be able to lobby the government representatives in favor of a sex offender registry.
Williams said his forceful drive in 2016, compared to his under-the-radar lobbying today, is in no way politically influenced.
First of all, I must say that there was absolutely no politics in the sex offender registry. The crimes that we have in St. Lucia, I don't think any sex offender or any person who has been affected by those crimes have ever been asked whether they were supporters of one party or the other. Never in my advocacy have I ever applied any pressure because of politics. The thing and the point that I want to reiterate is that because of my position now, it gives me a different leeway in influencing the implementation of a sex offender registry, and I have been doing that, and I'm quite satisfied that my lobbying efforts have been able to get the government to agree to implementing a sex offender registry, and also that everyone is favorable to it, and I am quite confident that this government is committed to doing just that.
The attaché said another reason behind his change in tactics is because whilst the previous administration showed no interest in the registry, the current one is.
Well, the thing back then too is that there had been a number of attempts to get the government to the table. There had been a number of attempts to get petitions to the government, and these did not appear to have the receptance or were not received really willingly. It was just a blanket statements or a lot of deflections and a lot of delays. What I can tell you with this is that based on my lobbying and discussions with the government ministers and with the Prime Minister, there is a concerted effort to do something about this, and I think the statement is less than a year from the Prime Minister, so I think we will see something a little more progressive along the lines of getting a sex offender registry on the books.
Currently, it is not permitted to release the names of anyone accused or charged with sex crimes in St. Lucia. Reporting for Hot 7 News, I am Rochelle Gonzalez.
Coming out of a meeting on Thursday among Consumer Affairs Department, the St. Lucia Bureau of Standards, and the Environmental Health Division, the public is being advised not to eat imported romaine lettuce. Retailers and food service establishments are further advised not to sell or serve the imported lettuce, including food products such as salads and salad mixes containing romaine lettuce. More in this report.
Today we want to send out an advisory to the consuming public of St. Lucia that arising out of a joint meeting among Consumer Affairs, Bureau of Standards, and Department of Health, a decision has been taken based on an advisory given from the Center for Disease Control that consumers should not eat romaine lettuce at this time. Imported romaine lettuce may create a health hazard if consumed, and therefore we are advising consumers who may be in possession of imported romaine lettuce to please discard it. Further, food service establishments are advised not to sell or to prepare romaine lettuce for consumption. It would also include the salad and salad mixes as well. The situation as is presently is that a strain of E. coli have been found associated with romaine lettuce that can cause health problems. The symptoms associated include bloody diarrhea, fever, malaise, and in some rare instances you may have kidney failure as well. And as such, we are advising to stay away from that product at this time. Further, if you are in possession of romaine lettuce, we are advising that you carefully place in a bag to discard, and any surfaces that have been in contact with that product should be adequately cleaned and sanitized. Cleaning using warm soapy water and sanitize with bleach. That is very important at this time. Thank you.
The Commissioner of Police, Severin Mosheri, is dispelling the misconception about a lack of a well-functioning witness protection program. The Commissioner says witnesses need to choose who they speak to carefully.
With crime on the rise on the island and an ever-growing need for public help to tackle the issue, the Commissioner of Police is squashing rumors and misconceptions that prevent people from coming forward. In an exclusive interview with Hot 7 News, Commissioner Severin Mosheri gave a little insight into the Royal St. Lucia Police Force's Witness Protection Program. Mosheri said, contrary to popular belief, persons can and should come to the police with vital crime-solving information, whilst resting assured that their confidentiality will not be compromised.
You can safely speak to the police and be safe. Number one, if you're not comfortable with speaking to someone at the lower level, you could try at the high level up to the level of the Commissioner of Police, or you could speak to some responsible person in society, a priest, pastor, doctor, nurse, or somebody you think confident in talking to. You can speak to them, and then they can refer that information to my office, and we can deal on that with that information.
The Commissioner said persons might be surprised to know that they are compromising their own safety by divulging information to the wrong people unwittingly.
One of the things you find happening is that sometimes people tell you they will not speak to the police, but they go out and they speak to other people who would tell people who exactly have told them. The other thing is that sometimes they may tell the police, but before telling the police, they would have told a number of people, and if it goes out, people say that it came out from the police, but it's not necessarily so.
Mosheri once again assured the masses that the RSLPF goes above and beyond to protect persons who come forward with information.
We have in place a very effective witness protection program, and depending on the level of threat on one's life, we may do that. We may house the person either locally, regionally, or internationally. We are in collaboration with the International Criminal Court. Sometimes they would provide finance. The government of St. Lucia spends a lot of money in witness protection, so we do have witness protection in place. For security reasons, I cannot disclose any more on that, but we do have an effective and efficient witness protection program in place. What people need to do is to contact my office, or they can contact the Attorney General's office or the Office of the Director of Public Prosecution, and we will assist them.
Every year, millions of dollars are being spent on the program to secure the safety of persons aiding the police with information. Reporting for Hot 7 News, I am Rochelle Gonzalez.
The National Workers Union has agreed to accept a lump sum payment of $1,000 to be paid tax-free before Christmas 2018 to NW bargaining units of government daily paid workers, government non-establishment workers, watchmen, constituency council workers, Victoria Hospital, and other government units within the NWU bargaining unit. They expect that the payment will cover all their members up to December 2018, including persons who recently retired. The National Workers Union will meet with the GNT early in January 2019 to commence and conclude negotiations to cover the triennium from 2019 going forward. These negotiations will be handled and approved ministry by ministry. The NWU has requested a list of members from each ministry with their years of service, job titles, rates of pay, and other pertinent information. The union says it looks forward to the GNT's cooperation. Now, while the NWU and the GNT have seemingly reached a resolution for Christmas, Labour Minister Stephenson King, in a previous interview with Hot 7 News, had weighed in on the proposal by the union. He felt it was not without merit and felt it needed a bit more time to be mulled over by the government.
The National Workers Union requested a lump sum payment before Christmas 2018, and the request has been granted. All non-established daily paid watchmen and constituency council workers will receive a $1,000 lump sum. These workers had their wages frozen for 3 years, and the union argued that this measure brought untold hardship and a serious multiplier effect. Speaking ahead of the NWU-GNT resolution, Labour Minister Stephenson King had described the lump sum proposal as a viable option.
Many countries have tried this lump sum incentive, I should say. I also believe it is one that any government should consider, because in the festive season, what you do find are finance agencies promoting loans, but we know loans are not always the very best thing to do. So you take a loan for Christmas and you have a festive time, and then January comes and then you have the challenge of returning to normal life. So I believe it is an idea, a suggestion made that government can give consideration.
However, the minister felt that it was something that required careful consideration and a level of preparation.
What government has to do, if it is one that we'd want to proceed with, is probably not this year, but look down the road in coming years to see how we can make that allocation to give, a lump sum for workers, which is normally called a bonus in the private sector. And bonuses are traditional. They are conventional methods of, if I should say, compensating workers. So you take into consideration your monthly salary or your weekly wage, and then you allocate a percentage of that, which forms part of your wage negotiations as a lump sum at the end of the financial year.
Minister King spoke with Hot 7 TV News on Wednesday. By Friday, the National Workers Union indicated its acceptance of the GNT's proposed $1,000 lump sum, which will be paid tax-free to all daily paid NWU members, including recently retired members.
This is the Hot 7 Nightly News. Still to come, gunmen attack the Bellevue Hotel. The mayor scoffs off the independent audit, and officers complete training by the RSS. Stay with us, there's more news after the break.